I have come to understand that, my God, the enemy of righteousness, right living, right standing is good. The enemy of right is goodness, good deeds, good acts, good words, goodness. All right. Now, I don't mean that good is bad. I don't mean that good is wrong. All I've said is the enemy of righteousness is good. In other words, when compared with righteousness, good falls short. In other words, we should not pick goodness over righteousness. We should not place goodness instead of righteousness. We must always prioritize righteousness over goodness. Why? Because God has accounted for righteousness. God does not account for goodness. Goodness is a measure of man, is man's measure of things. Man, all right, outside God or without God, considers good and bad. God considers righteousness and evil. All right, He sees righteousness, all right, and evil. And He being righteous is not because someone somewhere considers what he has done righteous. Righteousness is considered righteous, or a thing, an action, a person is considered righteous because God is involved in that thing. All right, God is what makes a thing righteous. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. But man measures life, measures things with good and goodness. And because man's world is being dominated by the devil, he has corrupted goodness. Devil cannot corrupt righteousness. Righteousness is the purest form, all right, of divinity. All right, righteousness is God. Righteousness is Jesus. If the devil cannot corrupt God, he cannot corrupt righteousness. But the devil has corrupted man and has therefore corrupted goodness. So that which we call good falls short inherently of its own by itself, falls short of the divine. The divine is either righteous or evil. Humanity falls between good and bad. And so man looks at doing good. But the man of God must pursue righteousness because he is a man of God. God in that equation has brought righteousness into play, and therefore he is no more seeking to do good, he is seeking to do right. This is why churches must abandon good deeds and look for righteousness. They must seek to present Jesus in his grace and his power and ignore their pursuit of goodness, philanthropy, charity. Everything that man holds there is corruptible. Everything about man is corruptible. The only thing that cannot be corrupted is Jesus. And when Jesus is in man, that man can hold on to righteousness and not fear that that which he holds on to has been corrupted. But the moment you replace righteousness with goodness, it is bound to suffer corruption. It is prone to corruption. It is almost a given that it will be corrupted. How do I know this? It's simple. Look at the world today, you see it. Every good thing man comes up with, the devil either drags it to the extreme or infiltrates it with evil intentions. He will drag it to the extreme or infiltrate with good intentions. So something like democracy, which is supposed to be a good idea of man, even though man, because of his fallen nature, cannot align with God's intention for society, which is benevolent dictatorship. Yes, a lot of people don't know this, that God's desire for society is benevolent dictatorship. Every unit of society should be led by a benevolent dictator. Every family, every church, every organization, every unit, there should be a benevolent dictator in charge. There might be delegations or whatever, but there's supposed to be and that benevolent dictator is supposed to be hearing, are supposed to be picking from him. All right. And the reason is not because others don't have a relationship with Jesus. In the New Testament, we all have a relationship with God through Jesus. However, for the purpose of order, there must be one leader. But in a democratic system which man has built, we insist that everybody's voice must be heard. And as good and altruistic as a democracy is, it falls short in the sense that it can be dragged to an extreme. It is for this reason that the United States is not a democratic government, it's not a democratic system. It is a republican, a constitutional republic, not even a republican system, a constitutional republic, in the sense that they are all bound by the writings of one document. That document defines not a person, not a royalty, not nobody, a piece of paper, the writings on upon it defines their engagement. And then they do not just vote, they do not just do elections by simple majority. No, there is a college system that they work with, so that you don't have a bunch of people in one particular place always dictating who is the president of everybody in other places. So they ensure that everybody's voice is factored in, not just a majority in one place or a majority. So they avoid mob rule. They avoid mob rule. Because the fact that there's a majority doesn't mean that the majority is right. It might be a majority of stupid people making a decision that will be binding on the wise. Do you understand what I mean? But it is a man-made setting, and so it can be infiltrated by the devil. He can stretch it easily to an extreme. The same thing with feminism. Feminism is supposed to be a sensible ideology in the open society, where every woman is considered as valuable as the man is, as any man anywhere, and therefore has the ability to make choices the same way the man makes choices, and should not be compelled into a particular line of life if the man is not being compelled in the same manner. But guess what? The devil would always infiltrate and stretch it. Now feminism is a whole mess. Feminism is right now is synonymous to misandry, just pure hatred of man, of men. And that is what the devil does. When something is good, he takes it and makes it a mess. So I always advise, don't pursue good, don't look for good, look for righteous. Unless you are not of God. If you are of God, pursue righteous. It is always the best bet. Why? Because all that is righteous is good, but not all that is good is righteous. If you come into a place of righteousness, all the things that are good in that place of goodness, you have them over here in righteousness. But if you go to goodness, the things that are purely righteous, you will not have them. Instead, you have those good things with the undesirables, those things that are bad, but they masquerade as good. You can masquerade in the realm of goodness, but in the field of righteousness, it is pure Jesus. So you can do philanthropy with a good heart, and somewhere in the middle, it turns into it turns into money laundering, corruption, you know, mismanagement. They're just siphoning money left, right, and center in the name of philanthropy. So when churches abandon Jesus and pursue philanthropy, feeding the poor, helping the needy, and in their mind they are doing something good. I mean, was it not James that said good religion? Good religion is feeding the poor, doing this, doing that, doing justice, helping the needy. That is religion. But Jesus did not come to give us religion. Jesus came to give us righteousness. Jesus came purely for righteousness. So how is it then that we have abandoned righteousness and pursued religion? We are not religious people. God's followers. Yes, they call us Christians. And when we want to fill forms, they say what religion? We say Christian, just so that we can make sense of it. But we know that we are not of a religion. We don't do religion here. There's nothing that see. There's nothing that looks like religion and Christianity. You can pray anytime you want. You can fast anytime you want. You can see. All you need to do is love Jesus. In loving Jesus, you will keep his commandments. I can assure you that even if Jesus did not verbalize the commandments, even if they were not written down in the scriptures, in the gospels, I can assure you that if you hold on to Jesus, your heart will align with his heart so much so that you don't need somebody to lead out sins and transgressions to you. You will just know that this thing is not right with Jesus. This is what Jesus wants. And you will just pick. You will know what to do. Why? Because we are not a religion. We don't operate in a religious setting, in manner. No, nothing about Christianity is religious. I've looked at it. There's really nothing. The only thing that merges religion with Christianity is that there's faith. There's a belief in something. There's a belief in an unseen entity. Other than that, other than that, religion and Christianity have nothing in common. So we are pursuing righteousness. Religion is pursuing goodness. They want to be good. They dress well. They look nice. They talk politely. They are cultured. They are put together. They are enlightened. They engage in social impact activities. They engage in social welfare, inclusion, diversity, equity, and all of that. They do all of that. They look nice. They look well, and all of that. But the truth remains that righteousness is not in all of those things. What they are trying to achieve is goodness. And it's fine. But being good is one thing. Pursuing goodness is a whole different ballgame entirely. That is not fine. Being good is fine. In fact, if you are righteous, you are automatically good. If you are righteous, you're automatically good. But if you are good, I can assure you there's a very good chance that you're not righteous. If you are pursuing goodness, there's a very good chance you're not righteous, and it means that there's a very good chance that the devil can manipulate, can weaponize your goodness and do evil with it. Gender affirming healthcare is goodness. It's good. Oh, please don't see them as weird freaks. Don't see them as this. Don't see them as mentally disorder. Don't see them as not. No, just accommodate them, accept them, affirm their gender, whatever. See the nuances in their dilemma, stuff like that. It's good to do that. It gives you that good feeling that you're doing good thing for someone. But it is not righteousness. Chopping off people's children, that's just child abuse. You are abusing a child of God. Reproductive health care. It sounds good, right? That's what the devil does when he wants to destroy goodness, destroy things that are of men. He takes what they are. He takes that thing, that evil, gives it a nice name, and it looks good, but it is bad. It is evil. That's why you must hold on to righteousness, because that which you're looking at that looks good is not necessarily good. It just has a good name. Reproductive health care. In other words, you should take care of reproductive people who are reproducing. You should consider them. take care of them, provide medical health care for them, stuff like that, you know. And then they tell you, oh, this child is going to affect me, it's going to affect this, it's going to do that, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. Oh, out of pity, we kill a child. Out of pity, all right, we kill a child. So nobody's saying this is child murder. We are saying this is reproductive health care. Because it sounds good. But you and I know that in righteousness, this thing cannot happen. In righteousness, it cannot happen. In righteousness, Jesus is saying, don't even defend yourself. Moses, I say Moses, Peter was fighting for Jesus and cut off a man's ear. Jesus said, I disagree with you. So Jesus was willing to face violence that will hurt him without defending himself. In that space of Jesus, there is no child murder. Jesus will not be in any way supporting child murder. But because we are not, because the devil cannot corrupt righteousness, he goes to goodness, and he takes something that is bad and dresses up as good, and tells you that killing a child is reproductive health care. Come on, really? And when you contend with them, they use a word that Jesus used, that this is my body. So they take from it and they take what they want to take. This is my body. This is the mentality of the left. They believe that all they need to do is play with the words. They will confuse you and convince you. As long as the words sound nice, you will fall for it. Jesus said, this is my body, but he didn't stop there. He said, this body is broken for you. But the left came and said, no, this is my body. It is my choice. Really? Really? A living being within your womb is your body. Really? Mm. Avoid the pursuit of good. Please don't be distracted. In ministry, in life, in business, do not pursue good. Pursue righteousness. But I think I will do part two to this. Pursue righteousness. That is the life. That is where you find life. If you pursue good, I assure you, in no longer time, the devil will come and take that goodness and corrupt it. Or better yet, he will take something so bad and give it the same name as what you have given that good act. And so you are the same this reproductive health care, which is supposed to be taking care of children that are being born, or taking care of a mom who is giving birth to children, is not the same name given to women who are killing the children that should be rescued, that should be brought out alive. The same reproductive health care. Really? Then if you focus on the child, they tell you, no, 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 it is women's right, it is women's reproductive rights. So you want to give women rights to kill human beings. Hmm. Avoid the pursuit of goodness. Pursue righteousness. Jesus. Leave religion. Religion will give you doctrines and rules and regulations. Pursue Jesus. When you get into a church, don't look for their rules and regulations. Look for Jesus. If they shove their rules and regulations in your face, dump it and walk away. Go to a church that tells you what we do here is introduce you to Jesus. If they are not giving you Jesus, 100% Jesus, not Jesus first, not Jesus and no, Jesus 100%. It is in pursuing Jesus, the righteousness of God, you become the righteousness of God. All the things that are needed to align you with Jesus, you will walk into it gradually or speedily. However, it will eventually be your lifestyle. You will drop all the bad nature and habits, and you will pick up. So live goodness, pursue Jesus. All right, pursue righteousness. I hope I've blessed you today. Huh? We'll see you next time.